Hey everyone, Richard here, Sleep Coach. And I wanted to just briefly talk to you about what to do when it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you're awake and you can't get back to sleep. I get asked this question a lot. And if you weren't here when I presented this in the sleep support group, here it is now. So the first thing to understand is that waking up in the middle of the night is not a sign that anything is broken. Normal sleepers wake up 10 to 20 times, not per night, but per hour. And it makes sense that this would happen because 10,000 years ago, it was important that we wake up a little bit at least and scan for danger before going back to sleep. So waking up isn't the problem per se. The problem is your reaction to it. You can be scared. You can say, oh no, you can be doing clock math. And all of these things turn a normal wake up into something that's upsetting, something that's more along the lines of insomnia. So the trap that most people fall into, and certainly I did this, was getting into all these things like clock watching, calculating how much more time you have before you have to get up, problem solving. What did I do yesterday that set me up for such a bad night? And even just thinking of your to-do list or catastrophizing. What's going to happen tomorrow? Am I going to be totally wasted? Is this never going to get better? Or trying to force sleep. But with sleep, the harder you push, the more awake you feel. So that really doesn't work. And so all of these things just tend to fire up the nervous system alarm. Your brain reads this as panic and danger and responds the way that brains and bodies do, with adrenaline and racing thoughts and everything. And this certainly isn't going to get you back to sleep. So I want to talk about 4 skills that I think are really important to do when you're awake. And these are the oh well reframe, cooling the nervous system, changing the goal from sleep to rest, and the 4th one is what I call the pleasant detour. So let's go into each of these. So the first skill is the oh well reframe. You shift from going, oh no, I'm awake, to, oh well, I'm awake. Now, I'm not talking about forced positivity here. It's really just lowering the stakes. And it's more like, I'm awake. That's just what's happening right now. It's not what I want, but that's just the reality right now. I've gotten through nights like this before, and I can do it again. And I'm not talking about being Pollyanna-ish. I'm not saying, oh, it's wonderful, I don't care. Of course you care when you're awake. Anybody would. But you're not trying to feel great about it. You're just trying to turn down the volume on the alarm. Skill number 2 is cooling the nervous system. So when the alarm is firing, you often need something physical to turn it down. And one of the things I find most helpful is breathing. And the kind of breathing I like is called 4-7-8 breathing. What you do is you breathe in for 4 counts, you hold it for 7, and breathe out for 8. And the long exhale is really what calms the nervous system most effectively. So that's the first one in this group in skill 2. The second one is the body scan. And in the body scan, you just move your attention slowly up through your body, starting at your toes and going up to your head. Just noticing each part of your body without judging, without doing anything about it. And the third one within this group in skill number 2 is progressive muscle relaxation. You might have heard of this. And instead of just going from one body part to another, you tense these muscle groups and then release them. So you'll tense the feet initially and then release. And then you'll tense the calves and then release. And it turns out that you're able to relax muscles better when you tense them first. Now, I'm just outlining these very briefly. If you want more detail on how to do these kinds of things, there are actually several apps out there that I think can be really helpful for this and for other areas where you want to just calm down and have more peace of mind and be in a better position to sleep. The apps I like for this, there are several of them. There's Headspace, there's Calm, there's Insight Timer, there's Happier Meditation, and there's Mesmerize. I've looked at all of these in quite a bit of detail, and I think they're all really excellent. I'm not saying get all of them, but just choose one and see what you think. So when you do these things, it's important to remember that you're not doing it in order to fall asleep. You're doing it to cool your nervous system. Now, skill number 3 is to change the goal from sleep to rest. You can't make yourself sleep. Sleep is just something that happens. So you need to stop trying to sleep, but you can start trying to rest. Sleep can't be forced, but rest really can be chosen. So you can lie still, you can breathe quietly, and this can have real value. Your body can recover even without sleep. Now, skill number 4 is kind of the flip side of the rest skill, number 3. And I call skill number 4 the pleasant detour. Sometimes the best move is to stop trying to sleep, staying in bed, and just do something enjoyable. And this is an alternative to resting in bed. You can get up or you can stay in bed and just do something that's genuinely pleasant, or at least that makes being awake less intolerable. There are a number of things you can do, and you can use your own imagination here. You can read a book, you can watch a show, you can listen to music, you can put on an audiobook. I really enjoyed doing this when I was recovering from my insomnia. I would just pick a book that I read before so I knew what was happening and I wasn't going to be at the edge of my seat. And I just found it very soothing to listen to a nice narrator. In that case, I didn't have to get out of bed. So all of these things can be like rebooting a computer. If you're feeling tense and tossing and turning in bed, it can be helpful to go to another room or just do something else to take your mind off of it. These can really be healthy distractions. And so in doing these things, you're not giving up on sleep just because you get up or you start playing something on your phone. You're really just removing the pressure that's keeping you awake. And make it something that you really do enjoy, not just a sleep technique or a hack. So those are the 4 skills: the oh well reframe, cooling the nervous system, changing the goal to rest, and doing the pleasant detour. And remember, you don't need all 4 of these skills. Pick the one that just feels right to you. And whichever one or ones that you pick, keep in mind that they do get easier with repetition. The first time might feel awkward, and that's completely normal. But when you do these regularly, and I can't guarantee you're going to get to sleep right away, but when you do them regularly, you're going to be starting a process of retraining your nervous system one night at a time. And when you do this, you're going to have a calmer nervous system in the long run, and you're going to be in a better position for peaceful sleep and peace of mind.